martial arts of Kung Fu. America first heard of Kung Fu in the 1970s from Bruce Lee and the popular Kung Fu TV show. Today, few people understand its mysterious power. You are about to witness one of the most rare and dangerous forms of Kung Fu. Welcome to the world of Qi Gong, the cultivation of internal power, and the world's first ever international competition of these special feats. The tournament vice president commented, "This competition was controversial. People think Qigong is fake. Others worry that kids would imitate it and get hurt. But we all wanted to see if some special skills are really buried here. This is the first step of a difficult road." The arts of Qigong are very dangerous. Can perform these skills only after years of difficult training. Even the smallest error can result in severe injury. Remember, don't try this at home. Although it has come to mean martial arts in the West, the word Gong Fu really means high skill acquired after great sacrifice. You can have Gong Fu skill in any art, such as dance, music, painting, and so on. The most challenging arts are the martial arts, since this is the life or death fight for your survival. The real Chinese word for martial arts is wushu. But to be a master of wushu, you must have great Gong Fu, so it is more commonly referred to as such. The most mysterious and powerful form of Gong Fu is called Qi Gong. Qi Gong literally means breathwork. The ancients connected breath with the spirit. This is why the word spirit shares roots with words like respiration and inspiration. Qi is the vital essence, what separates a living being from a dead body, and fine art from the mediocre. The core of Gong Fu is to cultivate Qi. Traditionally, there are two types of Kung Fu tournaments. The first is a forms competition. In forms competition, athletes recite pre-choreographed movements, like in gymnastics. The movements have been selected and arranged for the utmost level of difficulty. Many of these forms have been passed down and perfected for generations. Forms can be practiced alone or with partners, as well as armed or unarmed. Armed partner forms are extremely dangerous. The slightest miscalculation can end in disaster. The second type of Kung Fu tournament is a fighting match. Unlike kickboxing, Kung Fu fighting matches are not held in a ring. They take place on an elevated stage. Just before the matches began, it rained, adding a slippery stage to the hazards the athletes had to face. Points are earned in three ways: striking the opponent, forcing the opponent to fall, or knocking the opponent off the stage. In China, minimal protective gear is used, just lightweight boxing gloves. Unique to this tournament, the stage is set in a pool so that competitors get knocked off into the water. Chinese martial arts are the most diverse methods of self-defense in the world. Ancient masters trained in all manners of fighting skills, from fighting matches such as this one to imitative boxing, where masters imitated the fighting styles of tigers, snakes, eagles, and even dragons. There are even styles where the master acts as a drunk or a cripple to deceive the opponent into an unguarded moment. All of these styles are generally considered as an external manifestation of physical strength. Within them also lie methods to cultivate internal power. This internal power is Qi Gong, and its study was reserved for those who had already mastered the external physical skills, like forms or fighting. But, like yin and yang, internal is connected to external. Qi Gong has fighting applications. To endure the punishment of combat, as well as to deliver the most devastating of strikes. Martial artists study how to channel the Qi power within their body. Once this is mastered, they can perform superhuman feats. They can break objects like bottles, bricks, wood poles, and metal bars with any part of their body. They can also withstand crippling blows. This is called hard Qi Gong, or martial Qi Gong. In Kung Fu, it is also nicknamed Iron Body. The most common demonstration of Qigong prowess is breaking. Masters use their hands, feet, arms, legs, even their heads to break hard, solid objects. Photographer Song Shufan documented many of these extraordinary feats by the monks of Shaolin Temple, famous for martial arts. But there are other more exotic demonstrations of Qigong beyond breaking. Here, photographer Song documented a Shaolin monk demonstrating his powers by licking a red-hot shovel. And here, Master Pu Da Dun of Hebei demonstrated his unusual skill by preventing a live snake from penetrating his throat after it has threaded through his nostril. And here, photographer Song documented a Shaolin monk that could lift heavy stones using only his testicles. One of the competitors, Grandmaster Alexander Tao, demonstrates some of his Qigong feats. The renowned trainer of the Chinese military and police, as well as a Guinness Book of World Records holder for pressing several bricks against a wall, suspending them with only one of his fingers. His record now stands at 13 bricks, each 5 centimeters thick, suspended for 23 seconds. He is a master of iron finger and can perform a one-finger handstand and snap steel wire with his fingertips. Every Qigong master has his special skills. In order to standardize this competition, every competitor had to participate in 2 compulsories, the common feat of brick breaking and the unusual feat of throwing a needle through a pane of glass. After that, they could perform their personal feat of expertise, such as standing on your head and eating glass, were measured subjectively. The Qigong competition you are about to witness is the first of its kind. It introduced a new type of Kung Fu tournament. It was during May 22nd to 26th in 1999 when more than 1,000 competitors gathered at this unprecedented tournament in Taichung, Zhejiang Province of the People's Republic of China. 24 countries were represented, with 28 teams from mainland China. The footage you are about to see is the only media coverage ever presented outside of China. We take you now to the on-water contest of the Lichun Cup International Traditional Wushu and Unique Feats Tournament. All the competitors had to demonstrate their skill in brick breaking as one of the compulsory events. This contest did not permit spacers between the bricks, which is a standard trick when breaking. Without spacers, this feat is much more difficult. Iron hand, or iron palm, is one of the most famous of Kung Fu Qi Gong skills. Practitioners begin by striking a soft material, such as mung beans, every day. Special exercises used with massage and secret herbal liniments slowly build up the power in the strike. Eventually, the practitioner moves to striking gravel, then iron shot. The ancients believed that the practitioner's hand absorbed the poison rust from the iron, and that the lineaments counteracted this poison. But when needed, an iron palm master could summon that poison and project it into an opponent's body with a light but lethal slap. According to legend, this would leave a rust-colored hand imprint on the victim. Here, a master breaks several single bricks in succession. The master must not only exert his power to break each brick, he must also maintain his concentration for as long as possible. One lapse, and he could easily break his hand instead of the brick. This master is breaking several thick pine boards with his punch. When watching breaking feats, keep in mind that when the target does not break, all of that energy goes back to the master, and he has a greater chance of being injured. Qi Gong mastery is not limited to men. Watch these army women break boards with a slap of their hand. Note how thick these boards are. The second compulsory was throwing a needle through a pane of glass. These needles are thicker than sewing needles, but slimmer than nails. Not every competitor was successful. This is a very difficult feat, but a master of this skill need never be unarmed. Here, masters use their bare hands to drive nails through wood boards. second master here is using a 5 centimeter thick white pine board and 3-inch nails. Ever accidentally hit yourself while trying to hammer in a nail? If that was painful, imagine the power within these masters' hands.
现在上场的是2号选手山东的夏根，他的参赛项目是空断。
This master is breaking 3 hanging metal bars. This takes extreme focus. If not exactly right, the bar will just fall off the stand. These masters are breaking cement slabs. Again, the object is not supported, making this a very difficult break. Imagine what would happen if they struck your collarbone. This is another difficult metal bar breaking demonstration. Here, only 2 bricks support the bar. Here, this young woman gives a demonstration of her iron body skills. Her small frame is deceptive. Watch as she breaks these solid wood rods. This master demonstrates his amazing strength by wrapping a metal bar around his forearm. This requires incredible power to both push and pull, as well as tremendous grip strength.
举起的这2块把建的是长20厘米，宽15厘米，厚度为1厘米。
Here, ceramic roof tiles are being broken using just the fingertips. This is a traditional demonstration for fighters who train to strike pressure points and poke out eyes. In this demonstration, Grandmaster Tao, who we saw in the beginning, uses his fingers to snap pieces of metal wire. His power to pinch and grab is truly awesome.
现在场上的这名运动员是来自山东淄博锦城道国际总部的曹忠先，他正在表演的项目是鹰爪蹲，他的8号铁丝。 Here, this master performs some one-finger push-ups. This requires extreme focus as well as strength. Some Qigong masters spend years training their fingertips to be like swords. They can pierce flesh and destroy sensitive pressure points.
Here you will see the unbelievable power within these masters' fingertips, enough strength to support their own bodies in air. Channeling all of your qi into your fingertips takes years of practice and discipline. Like all Qigong techniques, it must be developed slowly over time, adding a little more skill each day. At the highest level of this skill, a master can perform a one-finger handstand while leaning their legs against a wall. Only a few masters had ever been able to achieve this. The most famous master of our generation was an elderly monk of the famous Shaolin Temple, where Gongfu and Zen Buddhism originated. Some eyewitness accounts reported that monk Haitang could still perform this feat as an old man. In the world of Qigong, these finger handstands fall into a special category called light Qigong. Light Qigong encompasses all of the skills that appear to make the body lighter, such as these amazing finger handstands. Other light Qigong methods involve esoteric meditation techniques and special exercises. Some practitioners wear weights fastened all over their bodies for several months in a row to improve their jumping or climbing skills. According to legend, some masters achieve the ability to levitate or even fly. This master demonstrates his iron body skills against wood poles, cement slabs, and metal bars. The impact of these blows would severely injure an ordinary person. Here, an iron body master allows two of his comrades to kick him using full force. And then he withstands strikes to his belly with a huge log. Such power comes from strengthening the body and internal organs over years of practice. In this traditional demonstration of Qigong, this master balances on his belly on top of a sharp trident. Although it causes a deep indentation, the master is unharmed. In a modern version, a young soldier balances on his belly on top of a sharp rifle bayonet. Once up, he thanks the judges for their just appraisal of his skills. Another feat is Iron Head. Here, a master uses his head to lift heavy weights. This young and extremely flexible soldier uses meditation to bring his qi to his head. He uses his head to break 2 thick metal bars. Breaking 2 bars this way is very difficult. This master uses his head to break a cement slab. In this demonstration, these masters break bottles over their heads. Here, not only is the impact a factor, but the glass shards can easily cut open their heads. They must be extremely careful to shake the broken glass out of their hair and face between each break.